So what do you think about the performances? Who was standout? Well, I mean, they're all pretty standout, but what did you think?
I think Dominic, I haven't seen him in anything before, but I think he's amazing.
No, I hadn't seen him in anything before.
I think he's brilliant. I mean, they're all amazing. Da'Vine is just like sweeping the floor with the awards at the moment. By this time this comes out, maybe she's going to have her first Oscar. But yeah, I just thought that he was like held his own, you know, against like seasoned professionals, which was cool.
Yeah. No, agree. I absolutely loved Da'Vine, especially the when they're at the party and she's like being really like possessive over the music. That scene in particular just like really got me. And I thought she was incredible. And I was like, okay, that's why she's been nominated for all these things. And I don't know if maybe we'll have one. And actually, Dominic Sessa, I think at first I actually took a little second to warm to him. Yeah, which I suppose is also part of the character. But even in some of his acting, in some of his choices in the acting, I think I took a little moment to warm to him. Yeah. But then I was really, really on board by the end and loved him.
Yeah. I totally agree. I felt like at the beginning, some of what he was doing felt very theatrical and like melodramatic. And then I thought it was meant to be a throwback to 70s movies where the acting is not as subtle and nuanced as what we are used to now on screen acting. But I really warmed to him quite quickly, actually. Initially I was like, okay. But he does hold his own, and he's just, you cannot take your eyes off him. And Da'Vine as well. Like she steals every scene because she's just like, I don't know. I just think she's, definitely somebody that I'm gonna be looking at a lot now. Yeah, I love her.
Yeah.
So this was Dominic Sessa's first role.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah.
So how did they find him?
So this won Best Casting at the BAFTAs.
Cool.
It did.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember.
So.
I want to be, so the casting director is called Susan Shopmaker. Okay. I want to be her friend. Do you remember she went on stage without shoes on?
Yeah, she's the best.
Have you met her?
No, just like at the BAFTAs.
At the BAFTAs. That. Yeah. Want to know why? Because she seemed really...
Maybe she would have fallen over in her heels. Love that.
She was great. And I think that's why after we saw that win at the BAFTAs, and there was a few other wins, Da'Vine obviously won Best Supporting. We came out afterwards and we said that we wanted to do this film because of that reason. And it definitely deserved cast. I think they were all great nominees. But so Dominic Sessa, he'd done some school plays. And Susan Shopmaker and Alexander Payne, they looked at like 800 submissions, auditioned some people who are like seasoned, you know, we've done quite a few things, or maybe even people who've been acting since they were like really young. Didn't feel like anyone was quite right. So then they reached out they filmed in 4 different schools in America. Right. And they reached out to all 4 schools and said, have you got anyone in your drama department who might work for some of the roles? Alexander Payne was saying like out of courtesy, but then they saw Dominic Sessa and instantly knew that he had something special, but he was performing too much. Like he was doing too much like theatre stuff.
Right.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they auditioned him 8 times or something like that. And then,
wow.
And then he got it.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot of auditions.
Yeah.
Is that a lot of auditions?
Yeah, that is definitely a lot. But I feel like when people, I feel like when you're going through that, I mean, it would hurt so badly not to get it after that point. But they're really just like, want to make sure, I guess.
Lots of chemistry reads, and Alexander Payne has said that the first 2 or 3 times that they auditioned him, he was like really not good, but they could tell that there was something there.
Love that. Love that it worked out for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's going to go on to do like amazing now, surely.
Oh, definitely.
For that to be his first film and he's like in a run-in for the Oscars.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Is he nominated for he's not nominated for an Oscar,
Not
is
nominated.
No, but he's just like on the circuit, you know.
Yeah.
With them.
To be associated with that.
Yeah.
Great.
Rankings.
Good for him.
Yeah. Fair play. Yeah.
It's his year.
Do you know much about the other boys in the film? Or
some of them were from the school.
Okay.
A few of them were from the school, and then the others were actors that they auditioned for the individual roles or people they auditioned for the role of Angus who didn't get that, but they thought they'd be good for the other roles.
Yeah.
Because those two, I know.
Here's what you could have done.
Yeah.
No, that's nice though. It's still like such an incredible opportunity.
Yeah.
I feel like it's always like that in an ensemble of like young people. Like they've all auditioned for the lead.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I love
That's just the way it goes, because I feel like that is an approach for a casting director when you have a big ensemble of like similar aged, like same gendered like kids or whatever, a group, then you audition them all for the lead and then they start to fall into place.
Yeah, exactly. Because so much of the time as well, I mean, they changed the age of this role in the end because they were looking for somebody who was more like 16. And then they cast the character was more 18.
Yeah.
And he was, so did
he
they
was a lot
change
taller than the rest of them.
But then was, and he was like, he being held back a few grades.
Yeah,
was that added in then?
Exactly, yes.
Okay, I see. That makes sense. Which worked fine.
Yeah.
That worked well for the story, actually.
Yeah, it did.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Love that.
Paul, what did you think of Paul's character, Paul Giamatti's character, also named Paul?
So good. I haven't seen him in a lot of things. Like I know he's done like everything, but I haven't seen him in a lot of things, but I do love him as an actor, and yeah, it was just really incredible. And just like, I don't know, because I saw his Golden Globe speech before I watched the movie, and it just like means so much to him. And yeah, he was just like really, really wonderful. Yeah, the two of them together, I feel like their chemistry was bang on. Like they looked like they were having a lot of fun. And when he slowly warms, it's just like, like the sun coming out.
Yeah.
What actually has he been in before? Because I also am like, I've seen him in so many things, but I can't think of anything.
Oh my God, the one that I like watched so much as a kid was Big Fat Liar. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. So I feel like I can only remember him in a very specific kind of like jokey type roles, and not a serious movie like this.
Well, he is always cast as like, he's like a character actor. Like he's like smaller roles in, a lot of comedies. But he's worked with Alexander Payne before on Sideways, that film about like a wine tour, which I'm not going to lie, really wasn't for me. So I thought that this might feel a little bit like that, but it's quite different.
Yeah, it was so interesting. That's what I loved about watching his speech, is that when I was watching him do his speech, I was like, that's the Paul Giamatti that I recognize from movies, like very jokey, very silly. And sometimes when you have an actor who's known for that, who does like a more like straight, serious role, you can still feel they're leaning into that like just like more fun side. But like there was like not even a slither of that throughout the role, really. And that's amazing, like that he can still be so charming, so funny, so cutting. Like you don't hate him, even though you're kind of like scared of him a bit. Like, but he's just, I mean, he's just a great actor, isn't he?
Yeah.
He can like remove those parts of himself. They're not crutches to his like whole process.
Yeah.
That's what makes a good character actor, is that they can turn those things off and they don't constantly rely on the same bits, and they can still be charming and they can still be entertaining. And
That's Alexander, the director, has said about that as well, that he likes to cast comedy actors in straight roles because they have a buoyancy to them, like they keep it moving, and so it makes everything feel a little bit more human, rather than it being like this is a drama role and it's dreary and it's like
so true.
It is really true. It's kind of like with when we speak about Eternal Sunshine and Jim Carrey being in that, being in a serious role there, and it just really works. Yeah, no, I loved Paul's character, and just like felt so bad for him, because really like felt his frustration being in this school of boys who were like so spoiled, I just thought it was a really brilliant character film.
Yeah.
And I felt like it had a really good ending. I think that's something that Alexander Payne is really good at. It's just finishing, and like you don't really know what's going to happen next, but you just know that they're like they've changed, they're good, and it was just like really fab.